Did you know that you are being bullied? It is constant and relentless pressuring to make you agree to something or with something that you do not agree with. I thought it was reasoning when it happened to me, but actually it was bullying control tactics. The narcissist would say to me, "Stop bullying me, or you are a bully." I had no idea that he was telling me what he had been doing, what he was actually doing, and what he was going to continue to do to me. That just went over my head. Are you familiar with that too? Did you see that checklist before you click this video? Well, I'm going to cover some of those, and it's a whole lot more than just those that was in the checklist. One of the ways that a narcissist bullies you is by making everything your fault, not taking any responsibility for anything. It's all your fault. And in the process, I call it applying guilt, trying to make you feel guilty. Something else that a narcissist will do to bully you is to mock you or insult you in public, in front of people, trying to humiliate you. And he does this in public. This is one that I didn't realize that was considered bullying, but it's that love bombing, where the narcissist, when they first meet you, they overshadow you, overpraise you, just overdo it in giving you love and giving you praise. And then it moves from that love bombing or that love situation, that praise, to total rejection, all the way to outright ignoring you, devaluing you. Can I even say the word right? Devaluing you, as if you have no value, you have no purpose. And it makes you feel like you have no purpose. The narcissist is outright mean to you. The narcissist is very cruel. It's funny how an overwhelming love turns into outright hatred towards you. The narcissist treats you like you are a disgust, like you have no value. Like you have no value at all. And they give you the silent treatment. You can say something to them and they say absolutely nothing to you, as if you do not exist. Treatment like that makes you start to doubt your own self. Got your head spinning, as if, did I really say something? Instead of, he actually ignored me. Because you're giving the narcissist the benefit of the doubt. You are this high value person, but these type of treatments, these bullying tactics that the narcissists do, makes you question your own truth, your own value, which you know that you are high value, because that's the only kind of person that the narcissist really wants to try to tear down, is a person who is high value. And you are well accomplished, much highly achieved, and are of high value. The narcissists like to control your finances. They try to get a hold of it, manage it. If they don't have access to it, they'll spend, and have you rescue them. Again, controlling and manipulating your finances. All the way to the point of indebtedness and even to the point of bankruptcy. Oh yes, that happened to me too. I had no idea that I was being bullied by a narcissist, or being bullied, period, until someone told me I was being bullied. Let me give you an example. We were driving to church, and he had been constantly wanting to put oil in the car. Every day, he wanted to put oil in the car. And this one day in particular, on the way to church, he slowed down the car it was a 30-mile-per-hour zone, and he slowed down the car to 10 miles an hour. Yes, I saw the speedometer. I did look at it. 10 miles an hour. And insisting that I agree with him that he should add a little bit of oil every single day just to top off the level of the oil. And because I would not agree to that, he actually slowed down the car. Mind you, it was my car. He did not own a car. It was in my name. I was responsible for the car, responsible for the note, responsible for the insurance. I was responsible for everything, the tags, anything that happened to the car. But he was driving it, and he felt that he wanted me, it was a control mechanism, control tactic. He wanted me to agree with him that adding a little bit every single day of oil was the right thing to do to keep the oil levels at a full level in the car. Slow down the vehicle, can you believe that, to 10 miles an hour, which is creeping on a 30-mile zone roadway. On the way to church, mind you, causing us to be late to church. Here, I just want to let you know, I did not agree to it. I said nothing. I said nothing else. I said nothing else to him, and eventually he just drove on to church. We entered into church and continued. But that was a control strategy. That was a control tactic, and it was bullying, and I had no clue. Have you ever experienced anything like that? If so, or any type of bullying from a narcissist, put bullying in the contents for me. I've been asking you, you've been following me, but I've been asking you if you would do that, and I would like for you to do that. Put bullying in the comments so that I could know, and so that others will know that they are not alone in this. So let me give you another bullying tactic or story or example of the narcissist publicly trying to humiliate you or publicly humiliating you. We happened to be at church, and I was responsible for coordinating an event at church. But at this particular church, the man was always considered the leader and the head. And so we both shared in that leadership role. And anyway, excuse me, I'm still a little nasal, but it's getting better. But anyway, we were in this separate, smaller area of the church and clearing some things. No one was in this room but me and him. But another man entered the back of the room, and the narcissist saw that the other person had entered the room. And all of a sudden, the narcissist said something to the effect, "I told you not to do that." Just destructive, humiliating, embarrassing, actually outright humiliation in front of this man. The man looked shocked. And I looked at the narcissist, and he looked at me. The man didn't say anything. He left the room. And when he left the room, I told the narcissist, "You may think that shouting at me in this church is going to make me look bad and you look good." And I reminded him that in this church, the woman is taught to be quiet and also to respect her husband and not embarrass her husband publicly or even in privately. And the husband is supposed to take care and protect and provide for his wife. And instead, you made yourself, this is what I told the narcissist, you made yourself look like an abuser. And you can only imagine, or one could only imagine, what was in that man's mind about me possibly being abused by you, the husband. So when I said that to the narcissist, he was shocked because he didn't think of it that way. I said nothing else about him. I carried on with what I was doing in that room, organizing it and getting it together or clearing it out. And I moved on. I think I actually left the room to probably take some things to the car or to another part of the church, and then nothing else was said. But this is an example, another example of bullying, and how an experience that I had when a narcissist was attempting to publicly humiliate me. It's interesting because something like that, because men are the kind that like to, that men are naturally protectors. I'm sure that man probably wanted to protect me, but also men are very territorial, and he probably didn't want to step into the narcissist territory. And I'm sure he wanted to save me. But I want to ask you, have you ever been humiliated publicly by the narcissist? Yes, bullied by the narcissist. If so, let me know in the comments by putting that word in the comments, bully. And oh my gosh, I have one more example. I'm going to give you another story. I'm just coming up with all kind of stories in this series about get the narcissist out of your life. And this particular one is about bullying. But this situation involves hoarding. I had no idea that hoarding was a form of bullying until I studied it. Yes, the narcissist will actually leave things around, leave things on the table. I wish I had a picture. I have pictures. I have pictures of how the narcissist was outright nasty, just leaving food and cups and exposed and open on the table and in the bedroom, on the counter, on the dresser, anywhere, on the floor, on the desk, attracting any type of animal, whether it be an insect or a rodent. It can attract anything. Instead of cleaning up, clothes all over the floor, clothes hanging on knobs, just stuff everywhere where you couldn't walk past an area. The closet was in complete disarray, just outright hoarding, not willing to give up any things. I thought he was a person that just was one of those people that don't like to give up anything because they always think they need something in the future. But that was soon proven differently when there was a separation, and I happened to be at the narcissist's home where he was living at the time, which I should not have been. It should have been complete, complete cutoff. But that was a digress. And I go and I look in the closet, and it is perfectly lined up. All the ties are lined up, all the shoes are lined up, all the suits, the clothes, everything perfectly in order, in color order. Interesting. But yet the narcissist, when he was living with me, clothes, just everything was everywhere. And that is a bullying tactic to try to get you humiliated, off track, unable to leave, embarrassed to have anybody over your home, which I did because I love entertaining and I wanted to be able to bring people home. But it didn't matter how much I cleared up or straightened up, it was always torn up again. Controlled by chaos, just utter chaos. That's another form of bullying. Have you ever experienced that? I'm sure you have. Share it with us. Share it with others. Let us know. Go ahead, put bullying in the contents and in the comments. Put bullying in the comments and let us know. I wish I could find those pictures. I wish I had them now. I will hold them right up here and show them to you. But anyway, so I can go on and on and on about bullying tactics. But here's the thing. This is what you want. This is what I want to suggest for you. Some things that you can do to stop you from having to endure this bullying, which is a control tactic, trying to manipulate and control you. So here's a couple things for you. Here's some things that you can do to protect yourself from their bullying tactics by control. Recognize that these are tactics and strategies that the narcissist are using to try to control you. You want to first recognize, just acknowledge and recognize in yourself that it's just all a setup. It's what they're doing, what the narcissist is doing to try to manipulate, control, and bully you. It is nothing but a trap trying to control you. The next thing that I want you to do is make a decision. After you have acknowledged it in your mind, make a decision that this type of lifestyle is not for you. This type of relationship is not for you. It's not good for your health. It's not good for your sanity. Make the decision. Realize and say to yourself that this is not acceptable. I certainly said those words. That is not acceptable. And make a decision of what the next thing that you're going to do about that. Basically, you're going to set up and actually start to make clear boundaries. Limit what the narcissist can say and do in bullying you. And while you are making that decision, remind yourself that all of these things that the narcissist is saying and doing or not doing is not about you, it's about them. So make sure that you realize and remind yourself it's about them and not about you. In other words, start to take those emotions of yours and keep them inside of you. Do not express them out towards the narcissist, but control your emotions and keep a distance from the narcissist as much as possible while you are actually still physically in their presence. You also want to start to protect yourself. Protect yourself with whatever evidence that you can have. Copies of your text messages, your emails, or either copies of records that you have where you have tried to support or help the narcissist and there was some type of sabotage or something that happened. Start to begin to keep records, and do not keep them out publicly where the narcissist can see them. Keep them and secure them in a place where only you will know where they are. It is your only proof, your only evidence, and you need to have proof, and you need to protect yourself, protect your reputation from your good reputation. Protect your good reputation from the narcissist and their bullying tactics. And here's another thing. Don't play in their mind games. The narcissist thrives. They love to manipulate and play not mind games on you. Don't play those games with them. Completely ignore them. Do not participate in them. If you feel like you have to participate with them, there's going to be two of you that's going to be doing this. The one that the narcissist believe is playing the game with him, and the one who is actually not playing the game. Yes, you're functioning like having two types of personalities or two types of personas at the time. I actually did that. The narcissist had one opinion. I allow him, because I had control over that. I allowed the narcissist to have one opinion about what he believed was happening. Yet, the truth is, I was protecting myself, my emotion, my sanity by the actual truth and the actual reality of what I was believing, feeling, and what was actually true in front of my eyes. So you have to protect yourself. So ultimately, another thing that you want, an action step that you want to take, is eventually you're going to have to leave the narcissist, because there will not be a change in the narcissist's behavior or attitude towards you. So you have to leave. I did leave, and I left on more than one occasion. That's a whole nother story. I will definitely share it. If you want to know about that, let me know about that, and I'll go ahead and do a separate video on that. But yes, there were 3 times that I actually left a narcissist. The third time, of course, was for good. But you have to start to Plan your exit strategy is what they say. Plan how you are going to leave this situation, which is bounding you, which is keeping you from moving forward, from succeeding, from growing. So you got to plan, make a plan for your housing, make a plan for your, especially your finances, your money. Excuse me. Excuse me. You may have to open up a separate bank account and keep it separate somewhere where the narcissist has no idea where it is or what it is. Do not allow any of the mail to come to your home when a narcissist can get access to it. That may mean you set up a mailing address, a post office address, or you can use a relative's or friend's address, someone that you can actually trust. But I would say you would want to, at least I did, I didn't want to rely on anyone at that point. And I didn't want the possibility of any person coming back and saying anything to the narcissist. So I actually set up a totally different address that only I had access to. So you may have to start looking at another home, another, whether it's an apartment um, or you renting a room, or if it's temporary housing, something like that, where you're going to get away from this type of treatment so that you can have a clear mind and you can start to think and you can start to plan. But it needs to be a place where the narcissist has no ability to get to you. Now, that can be very dangerous. So I'm going to suggest that you have a clear plan on that. And if you're not sure about that and you want more counsel on that, I definitely recommend that you seek a psychological counselor, someone who is experienced in dealing with recovering from narcissistic abuse, um, or a support group of some sort. But it can be very dangerous for some. It depends on to what extent the narcissist, what the type of hold that the narcissist might have on you. But only you know just how far you can go. But at all means, you want to protect yourself. So I knew how far I could go, and I knew how much the narcissist knew. I also knew how much the narcissist thought I knew, and I also knew how much the narcissist thought I did not know. My intelligence level was actually much higher than the narcissist believed, because he believed that if I left him, I was going to just fall apart, just dwindle down. And the opposite completely happened. Instead, I dwindled up and up and up. And you will do the same. So, like I was saying, you may require therapy. You may require some type of counseling or coaching that's going to help you. I actually did receive counseling and coaching as well, um, from another person who had recovered from narcissistic abuse. And oh my gosh, what a blessing it was. The truth is, and I've heard this over and over again, and I learned it in my study, and I also learned it from others as well. The only person that you really can recover, can receive coaching from, or therapy or treatment from, is someone who has recovered from narcissistic abuse. And they are many, many professionals, psychologists, psychiatrists, therapists, counselors who endured narcissistic abuse and recovered from narcissistic abuse and are well equipped with being able to help you to release yourself from this narcissistic abuse bondage that you have been experiencing. So this bullying you don't have to endure. And that's the whole purpose of this series about get the narcissist out of your life, is bullying tactics from the narcissist. But here's the thing. This is a very slowly, step-by-step process that you need to go through. Do not rush yourself. I don't suggest that you rush yourself trying to get over it and finish it. Allow yourself, because your emotions have been tainted. So allow yourself the time that's necessary and needed to help yourself cleanse your body, cleanse your physical being, your emotional being, your mental being, and your physical, your surrounding beings, as well as your spiritual being. Allow yourself the times and the times and the steps that are necessary to be taken so that you can be completely removed and cleansed from this narcissistic abuse. I hope that you have found that this video here on YouTube has been helpful. You may be searching other videos on YouTube, and they are amazing. I have seen some of them, and some of them I have used them years ago. I had no idea I was going to find myself coming here on YouTube and sharing this with you. But this is, I found, is the fastest way and the best way for me to get out this this content and this information, is by just putting out these videos for you to watch, interview, and just to have a different viewpoint. Soon I'm going to be interviewing others who have recovered. I repeat, recovered. There may be some that are still surviving and enduring, but mostly you need to see other people who have recovered and moved on with their life from the narcissist and narcissistic abuse. And so soon that will be appearing in the podcast section of here on this Propelled to Greatness YouTube channel. So I wish you all the best. And in the next video, we're going to be talking about, let me see. Oh, and so in the next video, we're going to be talking about how he took your property and made it his own. Yes. The narcissist likes to take control of your property, take possession of your property, and make it their own. So I'm going to be talking about that in the next video. I'll see you there.